こんにちは。俺は山下マルコです。よろしくお願いします。Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the case may be. I apologize for the slight delay. I have been running completely behind all day and all afternoon. I just reported a Twitter user who has been calling me. Yeah, that stuff's been getting pretty rotten, and we're gonna go through a bit of that stuff here tonight. So I'm glad to see everyone here. You know, everyone that's coming in, everyone that is filtering in. I'm glad to see that. I haven't been able to talk to everyone in a few days because of the weather impact here. Um, we apparently got a couple more inches, so we're up to around like 16 inches of snow in the last couple days. But fortunately, everything has pretty much moved out of the way. But we do still have a lot of wind here. But fortunately, power and everything like that has stayed on. So I feel relatively confident that I can stream tonight and not have too many problems because I've been fuming the last few days and. I recorded a few things just to get my anger out, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna upload it or not, but we'll see about that. Hey, good morning, good morning. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Yeah. It's about 0 Celsius outside, around 32 degrees outside right now. So, and it's supposed to be like that for the next few days. I apparently missed quite a few things over the last while I was gone. Oh my, it's like actually it's 20 degrees outside, so it's about like minus 5 degrees Celsius, somewhere around there. Huh. Okay. So, yeah, I kind of had a feeling that when MikeNeko started talking about wanting to play Genshin Impact, that she was walking into a semi-toxic environment. However, you know, with the over amount of support that she had, I knew that there was just going to be no way of talking her out of it. Plus, it is a fun game and addicting game, and I had hoped that she would handle things a bit differently than she has, but it is what it is, and we're at where we're at right now. So basically, I'd like to talk a little bit about what happened, starting all the way from the very, very, very beginning with her playing and everything. Of course, we did have. She did play. I've had a few conversations with some people regarding talk and everything that had happened during that stream. A few incidents that happened during that stream really really got me concerned. And I was kind of taking notes and just kind of, as an observer, just kind of seeing what was going on. And I'm really hoping that she didn't get duped in a lot of things. And as we talk through everything that happened, I can explain my case a little bit further. But then, of course, we'll talk a little bit about how people and social media and other places responded to the thing. And a surprising thing that popped up today, as I was just kind of researching a bit before the stream, And apparently, Mafu's name has come back into the conversation again, which I find extremely interesting. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that again, as we get dive a little bit further in. And I'm not sure if that's a recent thing, but I saw several comments in the last hour about something that he said online, which can be taken a number of different ways. But, I mean, Twitter and the Japanese blog sphere can run rampant with speculation because I guess they have nothing better to do. But we'll see. Uh, Beavers, hello, how's it going? Yeah, toxic communities. I pretty much stay out of the Genshin community completely now. I used to be part of the community, but I have since left the community entirely, and I have just have no association with anything or anyone involved in that community because it's just such a toxic environment. There's so many elitists, and you have to play a meta, and then you have to like people, and you have to think certain ways about certain people, and it's like, you know what? No, 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 no. You know, I have my own opinion about several of the personalities that have become extremely famous because of Genshin Impact. And it's like, look, I've watched one streamer, and I know several of you guys know exactly who it is, if I start talking about it. Um, he dropped over $1,800 to get the Staff of Homa before he finally got it. Okay. I rolled 44 times for that same staff and got it. Okay. Um, it took him another $500 get to Constellation 3 on Hutao, and I did it in 144 rolls. I mean, it's luck. It's RNG. It is what it is. I mean, and he sat there and complained about it the entire time, and it's like, bro, it's literally RNG. I mean, if you're gonna complain about it, and you're gonna and you're playing a gotcha game. It's all computer generated. It's all it's all calculations and numbers. It's computer generated. If you don't like it, don't play it. I mean, that's just me. You know, yeah, RNG. Yeah, got play. We got pray to RNGesus. I mean, that's just how it is. I got my Ganyu to Constellation 3 faster than him. Plus, I got my Amos bow quicker than him. I got my great sword, my Pine's great sword for Ula, which he called complete trash, and it's like at C0 with my trash, Ula. I mean, I'm doing 6-digit damage with her, quote unquote trash damage, with her burst. It's like, bro, I mean, if my character is trash the way I have it built, I mean, okay, that's just it. You go do your thing and spend thousands of dollars on this game. I mean, apparently you're getting enough money in to pay for this, compensate for it. I hope. Um, And if you're not, I feel sorry for you and your wife, you know. But anyways, it's like, that it is what it is. So I know how that community is. I know how that community is what I'm saying. Yeah. That's why I don't play Genshin a lot anymore. I mean, I've thought about rolling, I thought about spending, but it's like, I got other money to other things to think about. I want to save up for a better computer, a better graphics card, so I can do better streams, have better equipment to do better streams and stuff like that. Want to expand my repertoire a little bit. That all those fun things. So let's get to MikeNeko. So, when she started playing Genshin, I was trying to keep an eye on the chat very closely, and of course, the first thing that happened was, and everyone knew it was going to happen, that her UID got leaked. That was the very first thing, and unless she went back and edited her video after the fact. After she finished, that UID, was there, and people saw it. People wrote it down. So one way or the other, that UID got leaked. Okay. Now that in itself isn't necessarily a bad thing, but Genshin Impact, for as long as I played it, has always had a notorious problem with UID leaks and their servers somehow getting compromised to where third-party sites have been able to crack their system and somehow fraudulently send gems to people. And then MiHoYo, in turn, punishes whoever receives those gems. All right. Now, it doesn't happen right away. Sometimes it's like a month. Sometimes it's a couple of months. I talked to one player. It was like 4 months later. They had sent a message to MiHoYo telling them that, hey, I got these gems. I have no idea where they came from. I didn't buy them. What am I supposed to do with them? And they never got a response from MiHoYo. So they spent them. It's like, well, MiHoYo is not going to answer me. What am I supposed to do? So they spent them, and then after they spent them, they got a notice from MiHoYo saying you illegally obtained these gems, so you now have a negative balance until you pay them off. So any money you put in to top off is going to go to that negative balance until you reimburse the amount of gems you spent. So when I saw that everyone started spamming gotcha, open your mail in her stream, I immediately got suspicious, all right? Because I know exactly what might have been starting to transpire. Okay, now I logged on to the Asia server, okay, because I play US. I play on the US server. I logged on to the Asia server since my characters and all my stuff transition over. I started from level 1 just like she did. Started all the way, and I went all the way to level 10. And basically did the same path she did during her stream, because I wanted to walk the same path to find out whether or not the rewards that she got and the things that she was getting in mail were the exact same things, and see what the differences were. All right. Now, the main differences that I saw were that she somehow got a bunch of intertwined fates that I never got, and she got somewhere along the lines of 200 gems worth of wishes. She got 200 pulls worth of gems, is what I'm saying. So that that comes out to close to $400 US. Okay, That's $400 US. You get that's roughly like I think that's like 160, 180, somewhere around there. So I'm trying to figure out in my head, how did she get these gems unless now, and this can be something that may have happened, and I don't know. I didn't I haven't found any proof of this. And this could very well be that when Mihoyo found out that she was going to play the game, she could have been contacted by them and been gifted that because of her being a big time streamer. There have been instances like when Mori was first started playing Shadowverse. Shadowverse very graciously gifted her a huge sum of currency, in-game currency, so she could do a bunch of polls. So that could be the case. I'm not saying that it isn't, but I didn't see any proof that it was. And the fact that she was getting harassed before she even started the polls was feeling very suspicious to me. So it's something to be cautious of and be aware of in the event that if she does come along sometime and say that her account was banned because of they said that she fraudulently obtained currency or characters or something like that, it could very well stem from that. Yeah, the entire pay to win model is very scummy. It is. It is very scummy. I will give you that. Unfortunately, pay to win is it's basically the pyramid scheme of the current era. That's basically what it is. Yeah. So what happened was and I was talking to a few people about this. Um, she started playing and everything was fine at the very beginning, and then she started getting harassed. And when I replayed it back, she was starting to argue with a few people in chat. She was she was telling them, stop it. Why are you saying those things? Why are you doing this? She was saying stuff like that. When I was taking samples of what was being typed in chat and translating it. There was a lot of people, telling they say, oh, hey, open your menu. I mean, that was literally the entire spam thing, because they knew that her character model was, or her picture avatar was covering her UID, but they wanted to get her UID from her menu, and that's the only other way that you could get it, But my son said that Genshin does have that issue. They don't even have two-factor authentication. I mean, I literally walked through. So if you basically, all you have to do is if you don't have two-factor authentication, say like you use your Google email to sign up to play Genshin Impact, okay? And this is just an example. And I literally posted step-by-step proof of concept of how easy it is to compromise their current security. Okay. And this was almost a year ago. Okay. This is how easy it is how it was to compromise their system back then. It's a little bit better now, but it's not that much better. Okay. But, basically, if you know, say like you have you sign up to play Genshin Impact with your Gmail account, your Gmail email, okay, and you know that the person that you're targeting signed up using a Gmail account, okay. Um, everyone knows, or like most people at least, especially if you are a hacker or you are doing something malicious, like 99% of that population knows what the dark web is. So all you have to do is go to the dark web, and there are repositories there of compromised and leaked credentials. Okay, so all you gotta do is go to one of those places, type in that email account, and if that email account has ever been compromised, all you have to do is try those passwords, right? If you can get in, all you have to do is go to the Genshin Impact site, click, forgot password, and then change their password, or you don't even have to change their password. You can just sign into their Gmail account with that password, and unless they have two-factor authentication in there, you can change their Genshin Impact account, and that's it. There is no secondary validation for that account. So if you drop $2,000 on that account, you better have the most complex password that you can possibly have, because there is no secondary validation for when you log into the system. Basically, like if you were to log into like your bank account, you type in your password, right? And then it says, okay, we're going to text your phone, or we're going to call this number that we have on file, or we're going to email this secondary email account that you have on file to verify you are who you say you are. There's things like that. Or you use an authenticator app. I mean, that's probably one of the most easiest things that you can do. I mean, they're literally on the Google Play Store. You can literally, Google has their own authenticator app. This company made $1 billion gross in the last year worldwide. They can afford to implement that kind of system, but they don't. Okay? So you literally have thousands of accounts that people have spent thousands of dollars on, and they are sitting there with a single authentication system that can be easily cracked. I mean, the statistical probability of breaking into somebody's account in real terms is like 85% of passwords can be cracked easily. That's, and if you happen to put symbols in it, in your email, your password, then that number drops down to about 65%. But if the hacker has persistence, then that number does eventually go back up to 85%. And if they're really persistent, unless you have two-factor authentication, that your account will be hacked at some point. But most people, that they'll use very easy things for their password, so that's why they're easily compromised. And MiHoYo doesn't do anything about it. And what makes it even worse is that they're able to have this kind of scheme that somehow, some way, these third-party sites manage to compromise the payment top-off system to be able to send all these free gems and stuff like that in through the system. And at one point they were actually able to make purchases on your account on your behalf. You know, they it didn't save your payment information, but they were able to make purchases on your account on your behalf. So when MiHoYo would look at your account, they would see, well, you made a purchase on this date. On my info, their info would show a purchase was made on your account on this day. And the reason why I know this is because there was a streamer who is completely 100% free to play. He has never spent a single cent on Genshin Impact the entire time he's played since launch. And this exploit came around, and someone hacked his account or compromised his account using this exploit. And they literally bought the $5 pack on his account, so his account would no longer reflect that he had never bought anything, even though he had never purchased anything on his account. I mean, that $5 that $5 worth of gems is still sitting there. He has never spent them, as far as I know. He may have spent them eventually, but as far as I know, last time I watched him, he hadn't spent them. But I mean, he was so pissed because he was a free-to-play player, and he wanted to prove to everyone that you can be free to play, and you can still get somewhere in the game. You can still have fun, As far as I know, he's played well over a year, and he still hasn't spent any money on the game, But if you play Genshin Impact, and this is what I'm saying, okay? If you play Genshin Impact, number one, be cautious about how you spend money on Genshin Impact, okay? If you spend money, be very cautious about how you spend it. If you're going to be playing it through like the Nintendo Switch, through the Nintendo Store, or you're going to be playing it like through the PlayStation Network also has it. The PlayStation Network itself has a two-factor authentication. So you're safe there as long as you have two-factor authentication enabled on the PlayStation Network. Your network ID is tied to your account, so there is that secondary sign-in for it. So you're okay there. All right. Second, same thing with Nintendo. The Nintendo Network has a secondary sign-in. Plus, the Nintendo Network tracks the actual MAC address of your Switch. So any activity that happens on their network, or happens, transactions that happen on the network, they record your activity, the MAC address, the hardware address of your Switch. So if something happens, and say like a purchase was made, they can look and see, well, okay, what was that purchase initiated from your Switch? And if it was not initiated from your Switch, then you have the proof there to say, hey, I did not buy this through my Switch. This didn't come from anything of me, especially if they say, well, maybe you bought it some other way. If you live like in the Philippines and that purchase came from the United States, obviously it's like, okay, well, there's a big discrepancy right there, So, just be aware of those things. It's one thing to play the game, and you do get a fair amount of gems and stuff like that. As you play, it takes a lot longer, and you can get all the way through the story with the characters you get, and to be honest, the MC, the main character, very good. The what they when they use um the amino um element, very good, very strong. When they use Geo is very strong. People tend to not give it enough credit, but it's very very strong. Electro, people also tend to downplay Electro. Electro is very very strong. It, it you know there's plenty of characters that you get with the MC, and then you get a lot of good 4-star weapons too, especially pro type weapons. As long as if you kind of look ahead and you know which ones to get ahead of time, so once you get the prototype artifact stuff, that you know which ones to make and which ones to build. I mean, there's plenty of quote unquote free characters that you get, and then like I said, you do get a fair amount of gems free. So you do get some good pulls that way too. Yeah, the Nintendo eShop has two-factor authentication. If you're like, if you're like some people and you use, PayPal, PayPal has two-factor authentication. There's plenty of ways to kind of get guard against that stuff. So just be aware of those things. Because she was MikeNeko was extremely excited. Of course the game is brand new, everything is brand new, things are happening. There's sounds and things are coming in, you're getting mail, things are being thrown at you, new experiences. You have thousands of people trying to talk to you at the same time. Everything's exciting. And you don't really have, if you're not a seasoned player, you don't have a chance to step back and look at things objectively and say, wait a minute, something isn't quite right. And like I said, it could be that she was given those things by MiHoYo. I've seen stranger things that happen. MiHoYo could have given those to her. You would really have to slow down everything and try to look frame by frame to see where those exactly came from, or if you could even find see where those if those gems came from the shop or not, or where they came from. But it's something to be on guard about, because if she says something regarding this, in a couple of weeks or whatever, it could be something that really affects her. So just be aware of that. Yeah, never give away your personal information. Your UID. You can turn off your UID in your settings, and um, at least you used to be able to. At least the one that's on screen, you used to be able to turn that off. And I wish they wouldn't even advertise that on your screens at all, unless you wanted to. But as far as I know, you can also turn it off too. But you do have to share your UID at a little bit. Like if you're, I think like if you're friending people, or you're looking up people to friend them directly, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's one of those things that you just you gotta really really just play it close to your chest, and then also you gotta be smart with your security. Just to, make sure that your password is complex, that it's not easy to guess, that you know and I hope, like, for her sake, she uses. I hope she uses something like a password generator, or and then has like a password, storage or locker or something like that, so she doesn't have to worry about those types of things because. I mean, at least that way, she can make it something hard, for people to try to crack. Yeah, I was also kind of worried about that too when I started seeing that she was on TikTok. But and it's kind of weird because TikTok seems to be like gaining in popularity with Japanese people and people in Japan, on social media for whatever reason. I don't know if it's because, like, the trend tends to, like, lag behind a little bit, and then after the trend is kind of, it's, okay, yeah, people, you're doing the TikTok thing, okay, that's great, and then Japan catches up and then they start doing it. But I mean, like, a lot of YouTubers and VTubers specifically, that I know, have just started doing TikTok, and I'm like, okay. you know, I'm like, you go do your TikTok thing, I guess. If that's what you really, really want. I go every once in a while just to see what they're doing, and then I'm like, okay, and then I'm done. I have no interest in it at all. But so moving on just a little bit. Um, Now, I caught most of what happened after the fact with the second part of this. I know that there was um, I know that there was an incident involving uh, uh, for I and that I saw a couple of people say that he was like a quote unquote pro Genshin Impact player or something like that. I mean, I guess I mean, or that he played like Genshin Impact. Uh, yeah, you know, okay, yeah. If he plays, if I don't know how you play the game pro. I mean, maybe he's like a I guess maybe he's like a whale. I guess maybe he's a gotcha whale, and he played Genshin like consistently, and he has like all the characters, and he dropped lots of money and all that fun stuff. Maybe I don't know. Um, but so he apparently like stated something to the effect that he somehow was contacted by her, and she asked him to level her up, power level her up, and he told her how long it would take, and then she like said never mind, or like ridiculed him, and then she supposedly called him out on Twitter, and then people started bullying him, and then he later admitted that it was all just a big hoax and a lie because he was trying to get popular at her expense. And I mean, it was all just extremely weird. I mean, I, I, I started looking into it and reading into it, and I'm like, this is just so completely bonkers that I don't get why he thought this was a good idea. You know, I mean, He was claiming that the harassment was so bad that it made him quit the game, and for some reason, after all that happened, um, he posted this on his on his Twitter account, and the translation came back as where was it? There's a couple things I would say about that, but um, I don't know. I really. Sometimes I think I'm just getting too old to appreciate something like TikTok, but then I look at how I try to scroll through it, and I'm like, I just can't stomach what I see here. So what I found interesting about this whole thing that was posted here was and this is what's really set me off. Okay, um, so this post here that he put on his Twitter account says regarding Kore San's self-styling in his delivery. All my tweets about Genshin Impact's annoying behavior were self-made. I apologize for that. I wanted to increase my tweets, my tweets, or popularity by using MikeNeko. I tweeted with a feeling that I am not a good person. I didn't expect it to grow so much or get out of hand. I feel very sorry. I'm truly sorry. I don't think an apology will make it go away. I am really sorry, MikeNeko-san, to everyone in the Genshin Impact community. I am the one who has lowered the level of public opinion the most. I'm very sorry. Oops. I guess it helps if I put that on the screen. Okay, so this is from the person that accused MikeNeko of calling him out and attacking him, and then in turn making her community harass him. Okay, now he claimed that because of MikeNeko, people in her community started harassing him and started harassing him in game, started harassing him on social media, and because of Genshin Impact, which caused him to quit. Okay, it was all fake. It was all made up. It was all a ruse. Okay. Now, if you listened very closely, the scum of the earth picked up on this trash and actually aired a somewhere along the lines of a 12-minute segment without verifying whether or not this was actually true. He did a 12-minute segment basically defaming her and taking everything that he said as gospel, including screenshots and all this other stuff. And if you look at the screenshots, and I'm not gonna do this moron justice, okay? And if you don't, I'm sorry if I start using a little bit of harsh language, okay? But if you, I'm not gonna do this moron justice by like, and I'm not gonna put his name out there by so he can be the target of ridicule and attack beyond what I'm saying, because he flat out, if you bother to even look at the screenshots, okay, number one, number one, so the whole conversation is just extremely weird. Okay, the whole back and forth is extremely weird. Okay, and it's like, okay, so somehow, some way, you guys like connected, and she wanted you to level her up. All right, and somehow, some way, she wanted to entrust you with her account, and then expect you to give her account back to you, despite the fact that she has been so critically paranoid about other people acting like her and imitating her and trying to mimic her appearance. Why would she give away her main account to somebody else who apparently like didn't want, who didn't care enough for her in the first place to take care of the trust that you were claiming that she was giving you? Okay, that's the first red flag right there of this story is full of shit. I'm sorry. Okay? I mean, how else can you explain this? Okay? I mean, what has transpired since February? She has been constantly hammering home, I do not have sub accounts. The people that are out there that are like trying to get you to accept them as me aren't me. This is the only accounts I have. These are the only social media accounts I have. This is the only way, that this is the only character I have. This is the only, literally, these are the only things I have because they're me. Why would she give her account to somebody else in the first place? How stupid can you be? Number two, you're actually thinking that as a quote-unquote pro Genshin Impact player, which basically means that you spent thousands of dollars on your account, that you didn't think it would get this big by accusing somebody who has been in the headlines for the last couple of months over a major controversy. You didn't think that it would get this big, yet you wanted more attention because you wanted more followers on Twitter and whatever other social media that you think that you have that you wanted people to follow you on. Despite the fact that you said that you quit Genshin Impact, were you expecting them to follow you on Twitter and read you talk about nothing? Were you expecting them to like, oh, it's okay, you had a girl talk down to you? How? I mean, I can't wrap my head around this. How? And I promised myself that I had let out all my like ranting before I started streaming, but I can't wrap my head around how. I'm sorry. I am not like a toxic masculine male by any stretch of the means, okay? Because I enjoy the femininity of a woman. I think women are equal, that they deserve that all the respect and love and appreciation and the right to have their own opinion and their own freedom of choice, okay? That's why I'm sitting here fighting for the fact that I don't understand how these morons can sit here and say, "You know what? You are a woman, so I'm going to use you to get more popular." Furthermore, I cannot understand how dumbasses like this guy and Corey sit there and continue to victimize women who are in a vulnerable state. You're doing it for money? You're doing it for popularity? You're doing it because you want more people to follow you? It's pathetic. Is that how it is in Japan now? God, I hope not. It's sickening. I mean, it's really sickening to sit here and watch how many people from Japan sit here and say, you know what, we have every right to trash this girl. Why? Why do you have the right to trash her? Why do you have the right to profit off of her? Why do you have the right to get popular off of her misery, off of her sadness, off of everything that she has suffered through? Why does her suffering mean that you get the profit off of it? It's pathetic. It makes me nauseous just seeing all this. I mean, God, come on, man. Find something to enjoy in life instead of sitting there finding these guys spend more time hating on her than I do trying to prepare to talk about them. It's like, really? I spend 3-4 hours just trying, getting information together to make sure I have things to talk about for my streams. These guys spend even longer, days after day after day, weeks, months, hating on these people. It's all they do. Why? Don't you have anything better to do with your life? Sorry. know that's not what you guys came here to hear, but I'm sorry. So of course we had Corey do his stream. You know, I'm not gonna replay that trash back. I mean, it made me nauseous just watching it. Watching him proudly talk about, what she didn't do, didn't check any of the information. And of course, hundreds of thousands of people watched it. They ate it up like morons. It's like, good God. Corey is a scumbag. I'm sorry. If you like his content, if you like him, he's a scumbag. And he deserves to be called one. He has wrecked so many lives off of his half-truths on his channel. How can that not be classified as scumbag? It's not his place. If this stuff is happening, it's between people that in relationships he has no part of. The fact that people go to him to wreck lives, and half of what they say isn't even true, and he talks about it anyways, and hundreds of thousands of people eat it up. And they take it as gospel. And he knows it. That's how he gets paid. He gets paid for telling lies. And people don't care because it's all sensational. And, really? Oh, what a whore. He did that. Oh, he's a scum. He shouldn't be doing that. Oh. And then they all sit there and they're like, yeah, well, these people made six-figure salaries. They make hundreds of thousands of yen a year, going up there and singing, So, I mean, we shouldn't feel sorry for... Why not? Are we jealous because they're making more money? Never mind that, that their life has been wrecked. That their relationships have been wrecked, that their friendships have ended, that if they were in relationships, that if they were married or they have kids or whatever, now their kids have been dragged into the public. That one guy, that one guy that was like, he had a kid with some other woman, but before he got all famous and stuff like that, and then she's like, oh yeah, I was his mistress and this is his love child. Now that kid has the stigma of being the love child kid that got exposed and ended his father's career. Because she wanted money. Who's the whore? I'm sorry. I'm just saying it how it is. MikeNeko does not deserve this shit. She doesn't deserve having people trying to dig around her life. She doesn't deserve people, trying to compromise what integrity she has left. She has enough problems in her own life and in her own head without people coming along and slandering her and making shit up just to try to get popular off of her. It makes me so mad that I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this and I'm like, how can this girl possibly trust anybody when people like this keep trying to take advantage of her? Hell, I've been trying to reach out to her for weeks. I don't know if she's even read anything that I've sent to her. She probably hasn't, because she probably sees a male's name and automatically deletes it now. She's like, probably, another guy sitting there sending me a tweet or an email where I'm not gonna talk to him. Why would I talk to him? Just gonna be another guy trying to take advantage of me, and it's gonna be another controversy. How is she supposed to have any kind of trust in a man if all these little boys keep trying to take advantage of her? It's like, really? Damn it, I promised myself I wasn't going to rant. Calm down. And then we had the whopper of them all, of course. So, Mafu put this tweet up, and where did it go? So he put this tweet up. He put this tweet up approximately 13 hours ago. And basically what it translates into is... what it translates into is... I've been writing lyrics that I want to... I've been writing lyrics that I want to destroy everything in the world. And my cat has destroyed 6 doors in my house. But I'm not supposed to get angry. All right. Now, apparently, people have been like sensationalizing this in a lot of places I've been looking, and saying that this has some kind of connection with MikeNeko, and either is a direct result of something that has happened, which is why we haven't heard anything from her in the last several days. Um, or that she went on a rampage and destroyed something in a house and like destroyed 6 doors in his house. Some of them have been going as far as saying that it's proof that they're living together, which I think is a very big stretch. But I don't know what to think of it. I mean, I started browsing through his Twitter account, and the guy, I mean, the guy is literally like, I don't know what the deal is over there, or if I mean, I can't see the appeal in him. Okay, I just cannot see the appeal in him. I mean, I'm sorry. I just cannot see the appeal in this guy. I mean, he's not even. I mean, I mean, this is Mafu Mafu, guys. That is Mafu Mafu. Cross dressing as a woman. Okay? This is Mafu Mafu. This text here literally says that he is now the woman that he always wanted to be, or something to that effect. Mafu Mafu, I am now the girl I've always wanted to be. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, if that's your thing, that's your thing. Yes, that's fine. But I mean, really? I mean, it 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 would make to me it would make no sense that MikeNeko lost her job at Hololive because of a dude who cross dresses as a girl because maybe he feels like he's a girl. So if he's like, gender fluid, then he's actually a girl. And because like supposedly same-sex relationships is fine because supposedly there's plenty of lesbian relationships in Hall Life to begin with. This should also be fine because that it's technically not a guy, and so your relationships are still technically pure. So I know I'm stretching here, but really? This is Mafu Mafu. This is Mafu Mafu. This is what it says. And I looked it up on DeepL. Mafu Mafu, I became a long sock girl. It's painful. This is Mafu Mafu. And if you look at the rest of his tweets, I mean, this was done on the 1st, right? So yeah, April Fools, whatever. But I mean, this was done on the 28th, and apparently, this is Mafu Mafu. This is Mafu Mafu. This is Mafu Mafu. Okay, I mean, same face. I mean, he's still doing the same face. You know, um, you start scrolling down through the rest of his stuff, and I mean, you start looking at other pictures of Mafu Mafu, and this is Mafu Mafu. I mean, the face is the same. I mean, the only difference is the hair. I mean, I mean, number one, MikeNeko said she liked men that had, the part down the middle of the hair. So, bro, or girl, or whatever the hell you choose to be, you're out to begin with. But I can't picture this wanting to break down doors like the song lyrics you were supposedly writing, unless the doors were metaphoric, maybe. I don't know anymore. All I know is this. Don't be running with people like this, MikeNeko. By the way, the other conspiracy theory right now, guys, is that she chose to stick with MikeNeko right now because if you notice, all of his cats are also calico. And that's just something to that the Japanese antis and conspiracy theorists are also been pointing out as well, that his cats, that these are supposedly the vicious cats that broke down the doors. By the way, these cats are the ones that broke down the doors. That they're a long-haired breed of calico. These are the male, as far as I know, anyways. The typically the females have the brown, and then at least from my experience, I mean, these might have been bred differently, but typically, like the females have the light brown, and then they'll have like the darker brown along with the gray blotches, and then the males will have more like this. But as far as I know, these are like these are long-haired calicos, and their theories are that she chose to stick with MikeNeko because, number one, she has a calico, but number two, she also has a calico because she knows that he had a calico, and number three, he has calicos. That's their conspiracy theory. I don't know if it's true or not. I have never heard anything like that, bro. I mean, come on. Ooh, you're in deep thought. Oh, I must contemplate the universe. Oh my god. Okay, I guess whatever. So that's yeah. That's what that is. Oh, Cannon followed me. Oh my gosh, Cannon. Oh, thank you so much for following me, Cannon. Oh, please don't watch this though. Don't watch me rant. You're so sweet. Sorry. One of my um 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 um, um Uh, I can't talk because I'm so happy. Um, sorry. So several of you and I'm sorry to change topics really quickly, but so Ankaro, my Japanese VTuber friend, she the hamster, the girl that her VTuber character is a hamster. Um, I'm sorry, I'm crying because I'm so happy. She has a friend that they were talking about Splatoon 2. Um, I'm sorry. um, and I've been trying really hard to just be friendly with them and show them support, and um, I've been trying to figure out some way of wanting to play more game, because I play games with her, um, on her streams when she does audience participation, um, and I've just been trying to find ways of interacting with her because I mean there's still obviously a language barrier there, but I'm hoping one day that I can we can work up to where we can um do an actual collaboration together. And anyways, her and her friend Canon, what we're talking about Splatoon 2, and I've never played it. I got my Switch last year, but it's just one of those games on my back catalog I just haven't played yet because I haven't had anyone to play with. And so I was asking her and Canon about can you play it together? Is it random? Can you do like participation and teams and stuff like that? Because I really wanted to play with her and maybe Canon and other people, and they've just been really friendly with me, and it's I I just I just wish that I could reach MikeNeko like this, I've been able to reach out to them and make a connection with them, because I mean, to me, popularity doesn't matter to me. I mean, I talk about it a lot. That if I were more popular, if my channel were bigger, if people had a bigger following, if etc etc, maybe I can make a difference and help them, help her out, help the situation out, this and that, make a difference, but at the same time, the other part of me just I really want to support these other girls, these people that they want it more than me. They want to, they want to be something more, as a VTuber, or as somebody in the entertainment industry, I just I want to be able to support them and be able to you know um, make that connection with them and say, hey, I got your back, I'll do what I can to help you, as an English speaker, to help, try to get people to you know, you know, discover you at, on the English side, just like how, so many of the Hall Live girls have English fans, and how so many of the other agencies have English fans. You can have English fans too. That's, you're just as talented, or you're just as funny, or just as gifted as them. And it makes me sad, I mean, because I mean, there's a part of me that just wants to reach all of them. And I know I can't. Yeah, and I'm grateful that, for the ones that you know give me a chance to at least, try to show them my support, and that I'm able to, you know at least interact with them, because they 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 can at least teach me a little bit more about, what they're going through, or what they experience. So it makes me a better, presenter of this stuff. It just, I mean, I want things to be better for these people. That's what makes me so mad about all this. I just want things to be better for these people. They don't deserve this. And I guess that's what makes me depressed about it sometimes. Because at least in my eyes, I can see that they are more than just, quote unquote idols. These girls aren't, I mean, they're I don't, did you notice that did you notice that um right after Hall Live's third festival, so many of them went live afterwards. And it was almost like Hall Live had them reaffirm in front of everybody that, quote unquote, they were idols. Almost every one of them did it. At least every one of the ones was watching, or I saw afterwards. It felt like, it felt like all that crap happened, and then, Hall Live wanted to, really, really, really pound it back into the fans that, hey, these girls are idols. And it's like, really? Exactly. You know, here's the problem, and I've talked about it before, guys. And Calvin, maybe you weren't here for it. Here's the problem with the whole idol mentality, and the whole idol, um, central theology, and business model and practice. Okay, here's the thing: the idol culture doesn't allow for the performer to have basic human interaction with other people. Okay? Uh, they are literally they are literally forced to be fake. They are forced to live two entirely separate lives. Okay, now that may work if you are a quote unquote idol that performs on a daily basis in like a concert hall or on a stage or in some type of venue, or if you're working in a cafe, those types of settings, you know yeah, that may work. Yeah, you walk in there and you put on your maid outfit. Okay, yeah, now I'm a maid. I call you master, I call her my lady. Here's your tea, my master. Oh, I'm sorry, my lady, I didn't mean to bump you. Let me clean that up for you, type of thing. Yeah, that's your job, right? Okay, yeah, you're taking on that persona, but you are not literally living a second life there. All right, these girls are literally forced to have one life here and another life here, and some of them are living 6 to 8 hours, literally, and of being that character, and then they go out and then they have to practice even more, dancing, singing, whatever. All right, but they're not participating in front of other people. They aren't performing in front of other people. Hell, half the time, 90% of the time, they're not even performing in front of people. Okay, how many concerts does Whole Life do a year? Actual concerts. They don't do concerts or performances on a daily basis like AKB, SKE, HKT, all the other acronyms out there. Those girls actually do concerts and tours and all this other stuff on a daily basis. They're in front of people on a daily basis. They're shaking hands on a daily basis. They're actively being that person. These girls, what do they do most of the time? They're playing video games in front of people with a 2D model or a 3D model, depending on what they're using. That's not an idol. There may be a social influencer. They may be a streamer, but that's not an idol. If they were doing more like I've been saying, doing more with their mythos, doing more performing with their character, if they were actually doing something in relation to who they are supposed to be portraying, then maybe you could start sliding into that argument. But right now, they're just like me. The only difference is I'm standing, or not standing, but I'm sitting here talking about them with a live 2D model. I'm not going to tell you, where I live, what my birthday is. Actually, I already told you guys what my birthday is. But, and if you want really, really, really want to know, then you guys can go back to my, my, my debut stream. But, I'm not going to tell you a lot of that other personal information, all that other stuff, because I'm, number one, I'm a streamer. Number two, because there's, there are things I'm just not going to say on live on stream. But that's just the way the streamer life is. That doesn't make me an idol. I mean, even if I did start singing or rapping or doing some type of performance, even if it's just like, karaoke or whatever, that still doesn't make me an idol. Yeah, they've done LPs and EPs and all that other stuff. That's fine. That still doesn't make them an idol. That makes them a performer at most. So why does that limit what they can do with other people? It shouldn't. The only reason why it does is because they are being glued to this mentality that they have to live by this certain criteria of being an idol. But the controversies that end up happening because of the idol status are just as big, if not worse, than when non-idols have controversies. I mean, hell, look what happened to Miley Cyrus or Britney Spears. Those train wrecks happened. They're not, they may be pop icons or whatever you want to call them, but they certainly weren't living at quote unquote idol status. Wiley, how you doing? And no, I'm not going to cross dress. Sorry, I'm just going to back read a little bit here. I know I've been ignoring chat for a little bit and just been doing nothing but talking, but so I'll back read a little bit here. Shadow Master, how you doing? Sorry, I didn't. I know I haven't. I know I haven't talked or said much to anybody in chat here yet today. So let me back read. What? Okay. Let's see. If you were in her shoes, you would really leave Genshin Impact. See, the problem is, no matter what game she goes into, I mean, unless she plays a standalone game, she's gonna run into something like this. I mean, it's just plain and simple. I would agree that she should play a standalone game that does not have this kind of social interaction or have like microtransactions in it or any of that other stuff. I mean, there's plenty of other games she could be playing that she could have just as much fun in. But I think that she kind of wanted to do a gotcha game. And I know that she used to play Fate Grand Order, but there's been a lot of people that have been trying to get her in the Fate Grand Order because they're scheming something with that. And that worries me as well, because I've seen a lot of people that are like, especially a lot of troll accounts on Twitter saying, so when are you gonna start playing Fate Grand Order and stuff like that, so. Never give away personal information. Good point. Yes. Umberto, if you are still here, thank you for popping in. I'm sorry that I've been ranting and did not pay attention. MikeNeko can't get a break. People just want to use her for fame or where she goes. Yes, exactly. Have cancel culture go after Corey. You know, I think there's a difference between. I think there's a difference between when you have people that deliberately put out trash that is completely misleading and that wrecks people's lives that should be shut down, and then people that are being canceled because they're telling the truth, or they're telling, they are um, spreading positive awareness that is factual and can be proven with facts and that has been properly researched and verified. I think there's a difference between that. And if he can't provide actual proof that this stuff is happening, and he doesn't even have, he can't even verify that the sources that he's using are reliable. I mean, there's been so many things, so many times in just the past 2 months where he has said stuff on his streams, and then you go and you look at actual factual, established, published newspapers that cite him, and when they do their own research, they actually say that half of what he said was not true, but the half that was true is what brought everything down, and what has caused the everything else to fall apart. So it's like, well, he got half the story right, so but getting it half right does not make what he's doing correct. I mean, it's not his place to dig into this stuff and wreck people's lives. You know? Um. I'm reading as fast as I can. Sorry. I don't. I'm Japanese. I don't get the cross-dressing thing. It's not that, and it's not that I'm like, I I can hear somebody say, "Oh, it's because you're insecure about your masculinity." It's like, no, it's not that. It's because I know I'm not a woman. So if I'm not a woman, why would I wear a dress? Why would I want to dress up like a woman when I'm not a woman? If I don't feel like a woman, and I know I'm not a woman, why would I want to dress like one? It does not compute, Um, if they did a DNA sample on me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much I change my outside appearance. If they do test my DNA, I'm still gonna test out as a man. You know, I mean that's just the way it is. I don't get it. It doesn't make me cooler. It doesn't make me. I mean, why why would I want to look hotter than my girlfriend anyways? You know, I mean, if am I trying to show, if I'm like dolling myself up, this is like really reaching out there, but if I'm dolling myself up like Mafu Mafu, okay, um, am I trying to show like women how I want them to look or that I'm hotter than them. I mean, I would want to look good for them, but I would want to look good for them so they could show me off. But I wouldn't necessarily know if I would want if I I would hope that I would not want a girlfriend or wife that would say, "Yes, this is my husband. He dresses like a woman." I just I just that just does not compute. And that's probably why my model froze because it didn't compute. Okay. Hang on. Need to bow out for a moment. Grocery run. Red. I hope. Hopefully, by the time I finished ranting, that you were able to finish your grocery run and come back. If not, I hope that you're here or I'm still here when you get back. Um. Okay. So, in regards to Mafu Mafu, or I'd like to call him Mufasa, but Mafu Mafu. Ah, hell, I gave him a nickname a long time ago because I could never remember how to pronounce his name. So when it comes to Mufasa, here's the thing. Okay, I personally think that he does have some um he did have some social damage when it came to what happened with this whole Fallout thing with Rushia and him and everything else. But, um, you know, let's you have to look at it from a certain perspective. Um, Number one, he when everything came down, he was completely insulated from any major fallout of this. Okay, uh, he had a overwhelming amount of support from his fan base. Number one. Number two, there was no repercussions um, from the industry or from, say, the fan base or calls for him to leave the industry. That's number two. Um, if you look at it from the perspective of like some of these other people that have had things happen to them since everything fell apart, especially when it came to relationships that have happened that have controversial relationships, most of them have had to go on hiatus, extended hiatus, or even leave the industry because of the fallout that has happened of the controversy. He has not. And you know why? is because he is part owner of his own company, of his own talent agency. And were his own agency tell him to step down, he's in control. And he literally does the purse strings of all the promotional material and business dealings of said agency. So if he leaves, he could basically tell them, "Hey, I'm getting fired. You guys in with me, or are you guys gonna stick with those guys?" Okay. Now, the third thing is, after Rushia got fired, he has dropped multiple singles like nothing happened. In fact, he dropped a cover with Corey. And guess what cover he dropped with them? He dropped King with Corey. So, while there's no like actual smoking gun that really connects him and says, "Aha! Here's the proof that you were an accomplice to set her up or something like that." And in fact, he had a pretty significant relationship with her for over 11 years now. So if you like really deep dive into his past, there is evidence that as far back as like 11-12 years ago, they were friends, and people even back then had incorrectly paired them together, and she profusely apologized. And if you really deep dive into her past, you'll see that supposedly when those accusations were happening, supposedly she was dating somebody else. So she couldn't have been dating, Mafu in the first place, because she was supposedly dating this other guy, and they were friends, supposedly. But as far as how deep an actual friend he actually is, he doesn't seem to be that much of a friend to her. I mean, basically all he did this entire time was, no, we're not dating. Yes, we've been caught in a controversy. No, we're not dating. And we're not talking anymore. Now she's on her own. That's not a friend. I mean, if I were her friend and I was in his position, I would have gone out of my way to say, I'm not dating her. I'm married to my career. My fans are what's important. She's my friend. And I'll support her as a friend. And if Hololive didn't want her and they fired her, I would have made damn sure as her friend that she was taken care of. Whether it be, hey, you know what? we have this talent that's just sitting out there that has over 400,000 on Twitter and 700,000 already on YouTube. Let's pick her up. Or even better, if I'm her friend and I know she has psychological problems, I'd be like, hey, you know what? I'm your friend. Let's go take care of these problems that you have. And when you're better, we'll see about, you having a place here. And if you don't have a place here, hey, I'll vouch for you. Let's go find a place where you can belong. I mean, that would be a friend, in my opinion. I mean, to hell with the freaking, oh look, they're supposedly not dating, but yeah, he's helping her. Yeah, that's what friends do. I think that's the other problem with what's happening right now. She is too damn concerned about what these morons are saying. They're gonna say what they want to say. That's part of the internet. Worry about yourself and worry about what's going on in your head. Prove them wrong. Prove them wrong with your actions. Don't prove them wrong by Don't prove them right by saying things and typing things out, and saying, yes, I'm a horrible human being, like she did one time. I mean, they actually convinced her that she was a horrible human being at one point, and then before she realized, hey, that's probably not a good thing to write, and then she deleted it. I mean, even right now, you know what that says right there? Her location right now is manic depression, delusioned with everything. That's her. That's where she has her location at right now. That's not a good place to be. Calvin, I know you've said a lot of things. I am catching up with what you're saying. So I hope you're still here. Okay, yeah. I hope I responded to everything you said, Calvin. And it's not that we're just making fun of him because he's cross dressing. I mean, hell, you know, I'm gonna tell you a story. It's story time. It's a little bit of lore of my lore back before I fell down the rabbit hole. So one of my former jobs, I worked there for about 4 years. Um, uh, so I worked there for 4 years. All right. Um, I worked at a phone company, and I worked in their customer service department. And the interesting thing was, the ratio of men to women there. There was one guy for every 6 women, which was really nice for the guys, especially the single guys, But the stranger thing was um, one out of every four people there were either gay, lesbian, transvestite, or bi. I don't have any problem with any of them. Okay, I hung out with them. Most of them I was very friendly with. I went clubbing with a lot of them. And there was one time when I first started. they're like, hey, what are you doing tonight? I'm like, well, it's Friday. I was just thinking about going home. You can't go home. It's Friday. I'm like, well, I mean, you guys got plans? We're going to the club, man. We're going to the club. Why don't you come with us? I'm like, oh, okay. I'll go to the club. I mean, I don't dance. I'm not that good of a dancer or anything like that. Um, but I was like, okay, sure, I'll come hang out, and everything like that for a little while, and then I'll leave. So I went there, and I walked in, and uh, I, it happened to be it happened to be uh, uh, it was a gay bar or a gay club. It happened to be cross dress night at the club. And I walked in. I was like, "Oh, I am severely underdressed for this place." And they're like, "Hey, it's cool, it's cool." I mean, if anything, you're dressed just right because you'll get hit on the most since you're not cross dressed. And I'm like, hey, I'm straight, right? They're like, nah, yeah, just, they're like, yeah, we know, hey, it's cool though, it's cool. Just tell them, it's like, hey, just tell them you're taken and everything like that. You appreciate you're just here that, have some drinks and socialize, and they'll be okay. so, so I sat there for about an hour, at the bar, and I had people walking up to me, and I'm like, just trying to be really nice and cordial with them, but I mean, and I met some really nice people there. They were really nice, and I said, look, number one, I'm taken. Number two, I'm actually over here with friends, and I'm straight, you know and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry. No. I got dragged here." And you start talking like that, But they always tried to get me to the crash dress when they dragged me there, and it wasn't like it was like, "Oh, you gotta come, you gotta come, you gotta come." But it was like it was more like they knew that it would embarrass me, so they would always like intentionally invite me on crash dress night. And they knew I wanted to hang out with them, but it was like, why you guys keep picking the night when it was cross dress? No, and they're like, because it's just they all thought it was really really cute that how I'd get very embarrassed and blushing, and then when I'm trying like to politely decline people's advances and stuff like that. And it's like, I'm like, guys, that's so mean. And they're like, yeah, but it's so funny too. I'm like, I guess, but um, yeah, I don't have any problems with them. I mean, I hung out with them and had fun with a lot of guys that did the cross dress thing, and I talked to a few transvestites that worked there at the time and stuff like that, and they told me how hard it was in their life and stuff like that. So I get that they struggle with a lot of stuff, and that's fine. I understand that's the life that they're going through and everything like that. It's just that I don't get what I don't get the most about the whole situation is that you have a significant portion of that industry over there right now that just has this extremely feminine type of look and presentation, and I just don't get how like the entire industry like has transitioned to that, and you know how the lack of diversity within the industry is so lacking. It's so minimal, you know. It's like, and that's why in a lot of ways things become extremely stale. Because it's so limited to these archetypes that you know that they're attached to, that and they don't allow for any type of expansion on that archetype, or otherwise you're either cast out of that community, or you are um, branded basically like a black sheep. Um, I I've talked to. I thought you guys would like that story, you know, because I mean I had the greatest times with them. They were a very fun group to hang out with. Sadly we all had to go our separate ways once I went to started college and stuff like that. Um, and I was able to go back to college and get my degree and stuff like that. So I had to leave that job and focus on my education. But while I was there, we had some great times, and it was just a fun experience, and that's why I don't hate I don't hate people that choose to embrace that kind of lifestyle, or that kind of identity. The big question mark I have, because in a lot of ways that type of identity continuously fluctuates depending on, I don't know, maybe even the generation, is, especially in Japan, why does it seem like the embracement is either all or nothing? It goes back to my initial question: why does it have to be that VTubers, female VTuber equals idol, when it doesn't? Is it, why, female VTuber, how does female VTuber equal idol? Where's the equation that makes it equal idol? There has to be a prerequisite there. There has to be a formula that makes it equal idol. Why can't it be, VTuber equals, social media influencer? I know VTubers who are teachers. Okay, they aren't idols. That they are treated. Their privacy is treated like an idol. That their privacy, they are treated. Their private information is treated like an idol, and they're presented to the public with a very limited amount of exposure to protect her identity. But as far as like the way that she runs her private life, I know for a fact that she interacts with men. Oh, scary. She has actually gone out to eat lunch with men. Oh no. And it's not like she's dating him. She has just done that because, hey, some of them have to do stuff outside of, streaming that involves real life. I'm sorry. So why does MikeNeko have to conform to this, like, idol mentality when, number one, she's not even part of Hololive anymore? And number two, you know, it's not like she's exactly an idol right now, anyways. America is definitely hard to cross dress. Yeah, you have to be in like you literally have to be in like in the right city, in the right neighborhood, in the right era, with the right people. I mean, there's a reason why the birth rate in Japan keeps on dropping. You know, and there's a reason why the population in Japan keeps on dropping too. You know, number one, at first, there was like Japan's overpopulated, and that was like the huge concern, especially like post World War II and all that other stuff. But even then, with just the massive amount of inflation that kept increasing, and the multiple what they term lost generations that they've had, um, things got better at one point, with the yen strengthening and buying power and everything like that, and they had some good rebound. Years, but by and large, just talking to a few of them and listening to a few of them, generally talk, that they've, especially with COVID and everything else that's going on, I mean, inflation and jobs and everything else is just a continuous thing. And I mean, I've seen people criticize, and that's the other thing. I've seen people that have criticized MikeNeko for making six figures, 6 figure yen a year, and and I've gone through their Twitter wall, and they literally like outline the fact that they don't have a stable job. They're constantly bouncing from job to job. They don't have an actual employer. They're all they do is work part-time jobs. They're not happy with it. They take any job that they can get. Some of them are like that they don't even have a place to live, and they're literally living out of like where those I don't think they're like karaoke places, but they're like they're like computer cafe places that you can rent or something like that, because it's actually cheaper to rent them per hour than it is to rent and just rent it out for an entire month than it is to rent um an apartment with no bathroom or kitchen or anything like that. Or not kitchen. No bathroom. Um, yeah, I mean, it's just like weird. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Well, yeah, Eastern, Japan. They had what was it, kabuki? Um, I think it was kabuki, that they at one point they dressed, they had men dressed doing the women, men and women, playing the men and women, and of course they had also a couple of women playing some parts, but um So yeah, I know that there's a culture involving that. But I just I don't know. It makes me very it makes me very suspicious about some of the things I read. Because I mean, I've seen some tweets out there where oh, by the way, Wayback Machine. If you ever need to like look to see what's deleted, Wayback Machine is one of the good things to use. Because they sometimes they're able to archive some decent stuff here. Especially like after they delete things like this where that's self-incriminating. Um, but yo, it makes me it makes me worry because I mean I've seen Twitter posts that state stuff like um what happened with MikeNeko now with the current controversy is nothing compared to what's going to happen next, but they don't elaborate on it, which it kind of makes me wonder whether or not it's a threat or makes me wonder if it's just them spouting nonsense. But there's just so much vitriol out there towards this one person, and that's the other thing I wanted to really say. Um, I want everyone that's watching or will watch either now or later to remember something. Just because she hasn't said anything in the last 3 days does not mean that it's a bad thing, and I want people to really understand that. I want you guys to remember, she did mention that she was looking at a new place to move into, which hopefully she either picks a place that's closer to home or a place that is away from whatever nonsense that she was close to or into. Get away from some of those things so she can put her mind at ease a little bit better. Doesn't have to like constantly revisit those memories, that kind of thing. She could be working on things behind the scenes to ensure that she is putting things together for something that she's working on. I mean, if she is trying to continue her career, she could be trying to make those connections. She could be she could be making the trip out to see Kason for all we know. I keep hearing that that she has that they're supposed to get together at some point. I mean, that would really be nice if she would have someone that she could get together with just to blow off some steam and maybe feel like a real person for a little bit. That would be a good thing. Yeah, they did she did say that they were going to get together at some point. I don't think that she ever said what when they were going to get together, which I wouldn't expect them to. I would expect them to get together and then like say it afterwards. At least that would be my guess, but um she has things outside of social media, and that's a good thing. I hope that she is doing stuff outside social media that she can concentrate on. Whatever they are. If it's something related to her talents or something related to um, you know if she is doing something or working on something, something constructive, that that's a good thing for her. If she's getting medical, psychological, mental help, that would be a great thing. um, she needs counseling, for crying out loud. I mean, especially if she's not eating correctly. um, that's the most that's probably the biggest thing that I'm concerned about is um you know her mental status. you know um if this statement here on her account and what she has said before um is true, it needs to be monitored. It needs to be monitored. It needs to be assessed and maintained, especially with medication and counseling. It cannot be just here's a bottle of pills. We'll see you in 3 months type of thing. She needs to be monitored. Um, you know, if she's alone, she there's no one there to see if she's having mood swings, or seeing if she's having problems adapting to the medication, or even if the medication's working, or if it's having the opposite effect, or if it's even affecting her moods or behavior when she has cycles. um, I was explaining it to somebody here earlier today. You know, um, you know, what one thing that really, um, I really wish that I could reach her on, and talk to her about it, is her manic depression, because I suffer through it. I suffer through manic depression. Ever since I had my back injury. And it's something that I've constantly had to live with ever since. Even though I've had surgeries on it, I've had rehab and everything else. I still have cycles, and like right now, um, you know, one of the triggers, there's any number of triggers that can cause a cycle. But with 2 weeks in a row now, we've had major storms to come through, which has interrupt what I've been trying to work on, and that sent me into a depression cycle. And I've been severely depressed about the whole thing, because my whole workflow has been messed up. I'm trying to play catch up, with everything. I mean, today I didn't even want to get out of bed, because I was just so depressed. I'm like, why bother? Everything I've been trying to work on is just I'm too far behind, and everything. And so I know how it feels to have some of those feelings, that does anyone even care about what I'm doing, that kind of thing. you know and that's why I really wanted to try to reach her and try to maybe try to make a difference, but it's hard to reach somebody like this, especially if they're number one, because she's you know she's popular. Number two, I haven't caused any controversy. Number three, I'm a man, so unless I've done something to what that dumbass did way back when here, you know, I mean, I might not catch her attention, So, I mean, and that in itself has just compounded the matter, because it's like, you want to support somebody that is saying that they're going through this thing, and if you know how it feels, and how it feels to struggle and fight through it, you want to you want to try to help them to get through those things, and maybe if she doesn't have those skills developed to cope with those things, help her develop those skills, or help her get the mindsets of you know getting as far as you can, so you may not succeed in getting through everything you want to do in that single day, when you're in that down part of your cycle. However, if you're still able to engage on some level, and get through the first couple of steps in engaging, that's still something worth being proud of. And it's still something that you can say, I succeeded in doing this today, rather than, well, I didn't get anything done today. It's like, well, did you try? No. Well, why didn't you try? You need to try, and then, be proud of how far you got. Even if you didn't get everything done, or get anything done, be proud that you tried. But anyways. Oreo, nice to see you. I am okay, Oreo. The weather's calmed down. We haven't had any problems with the weather. We got 2 more inches of snow, so we're up to about 16 inches of snow on the ground. But everything's fine here. I've just been kind of going over everything that's happened with MikeNeko and Genshin, and kind of giving my opinion on where things are at right now. Um, yeah, I've seen several people that I follow on Twitter, or on YouTube, that are in Japan, and they're just now catching that Delta variant, and they're a lot of them are miserable. I'm glad that Ankaro was able to catch it early. I mean, I feel sorry that she caught it, because she was miserable, but she was able to catch it, and then recover from it rather quickly, which I was happy for her, because I know she was miserable for those few days, and she just doesn't want to sit still. But it's a bit of a bummer, but luckily they are it's more mild than the other stuff that was going around. Can Hachima still visit? I mean, I'm sure that they could visit. I don't think there's any like, you know, according to according to Hollow Live's official position, they cannot control what happens with their talent when they are not officially on the clock. So they can talk to and visit whoever they choose. Now, in reality, I'm sure that, if they are caught, you know, or someone rats them out saying that they are, were, uh, visiting MikeNeko, or, something like that. They would get blackballed by their management, just like MikeNeko did. Just like Coco did. You know, Management has a way of blackballing people without necessarily breaking their said rules. It's like I've mentioned before. It's like, they hired Mickey Nico as um, someone who has had a history of being a cover singer, and yet she only had like two cover songs and one original song in her entire career there. But there were people there that were there just as long, if not long, a little bit longer, and they had four times the amount of releases, if not more. And only had 1 year over her. Um, and have less popularity than her. So, yeah. I'm still COVID free. I hope you stay COVID free. Please stay COVID free, or at least try to be safe. Yeah, Uncle Chan is just so friendly when she's her I enjoy her watching her when she streams. When she streams, I am just getting up. For me, it's the first thing in the morning. So her bright and cheerful attitude is just so refreshing. Um, I mean, it's like you know those anime where you have like the cheerful, happy next door neighbor girl that constantly wakes you up every morning or something like that, or comes and greets you or gets you to go walk to school with you type thing. That's what she reminds me of for some reason. I don't know why. She's like the next door neighbor girl type thing. But I like it. She's very fun, and she's very very adorable. I love listening to her sing, and I'm hoping that Mickey Nico one day will um, be in a position where she'll feel comfortable singing too. Um, that's something that I've been considering uploading, just so on our Discord, people can watch or listen to for a limited time. Upload some of her karaoke streams, or her old karaoke streams, that is. Um, and I'm not sure that if you guys saw that or not, but I did. I created a limited time channel in Discord where I'm just gonna upload content that is only going to be available for a limited time, and it's gonna be there for like 30 days, and then it's gone. So you know, if you want to watch it or download it or whatever, it's there for you to see. Um, I the, there's just so much content that and the backup of her channel is just so huge in size that um it's it's difficult to you can obviously visit the one channel that or the one website that they did do the archive of all of her non-membership stuff, but I'm not sure if they're ever going to be able, or if they feel comfortable uploading her membership stuff. So I figure I might as well upload her membership stuff, just for like a limited time, and then once that time limit's up, then I'll just delete it. Yeah, Callie did mention that Therisia, her name, talking about her and all that kind of stuff isn't going to be taboo. You know, um, and the interesting thing is, um, I was just kind of snooping around earlier, just um, I was and I was just kind of curious about various things when I was poking around with some of the archive that I have, and I discovered something very very interesting. Um, her so her entire archive, guys, it they didn't delete it. It's all still there. It's just privatized. Every single stream is privatized, and her her membership side, the whole membership side's walled off, since they canceled all the monetization and stuff like that. So that's all paywalled off, and is completely locked away. But her, as far as her um, uh, non-membership stuff, the error code comes back as something different, and it comes back as the uploader has privatized the videos, and the error code that comes back for her membership stuff is, it just says that it's unavailable. It doesn't say it's been deleted by the owner. So as far as I can tell, all of her old stuff is still there. It's just all been completely just walled off and privatized. Well, I think that I think the controversy part, and I do remember at some point there was I remember conversation in one of the Twitcasting streams that she was uh a, a lot of the members were talking about, and this was recent. This wasn't this wasn't like back in late February or early March. This was recent. Um, they were asking her something about um, whether or not they asked her whether or not there was enough evidence to press charges against the slanderer. And the slanderer, uh, when they've been mentioning the slanderer, um, that typically has been in reference to Corey Corey. Um, and they've been using that name instead of calling him out outright. And I'll call him out. I don't care. If he's gonna sue me, he can sue me. I don't have anything to take. Um, take me, take what I have. I don't got anything. You know, um, but for her, I know that she said that she was still talking to a lawyer, but I don't know. I know libel is one of the hardest things to press charges against, or with. So I don't know if there's enough like physical evidence or evidence trail for her to be able to pursue that in court. And like we've looked at before, she has to be very careful about how she proceeds with that, because there's a lot of liberal courts there in Japan that could hold her accountable for things, as opposed to how it would be if she were to pursue that here in the United States, where mental and emotional anguish would be in consideration, loss of job, loss of income would be under consideration, victimization of a woman would be under consideration, those types of things, especially with like the whole Me Too movement. That would be under consideration, and her being a minority, of course, would also be under consideration. So, it has to be approached very carefully, um, especially in Japan, because they're some of those laws over there are just archaic. Corey does know some powerful people. He's funded by a lot of rich people. Well, his activities are quote unquote sponsored by a lot of rich people. That's why I call him a lapdog, because he literally just like feeds off of the scraps that he's given. And then that's why he you know that's why he, like, when he like breaks, quote unquote breaks big news about somebody big, it's usually in the form of a hit. It's literally like a hit. Um, it's never news reporting. It's always a hit. It's a social hit, and it's meant to take somebody out. You know, none of this that if you notice, none of what he does, none of what he says, and none of what he does, is informative. It always takes somebody out. It always ruins somebody's life. It always damages somebody, and somebody always profits off of it. Typically, it's, there is a party that profits off of it, ultimately profits off of it, because somebody got taken out. Now, whether or not, the irony of the whole thing is that, you know, uh, MikeNeko was a huge draw and she brought in um a lot of money, just like Kason does. But if she was a problem, or if she was perceived as a problem, I should say, if her management perceived her as a problem or perceived her as somebody that was in the way of what they wanted, it very well could have been a hit. I'm just saying, I'm speculating. That is a speculation. But if you look at what Kason has said in the past about how her last months were run, and the fact that somehow, some way, all her trolls magically gained comment moderator access to her channel, which can only be done by people who have existing moderator or creator access, which is either Hololive or her. And I've demonstrated on stream just how far away those buttons are to give somebody access. It's not an oops moment. It is literally somebody. You have to literally intentionally give somebody those types of access in order for that to happen. Excuse me. I wouldn't put it past anything. I wouldn't put anything past right now. And that's why it kind of drives me a little cuckoo when I look at some of this stuff, because I mean, at this point, I could kind of believe some of the stuff I find. you know, I always try to be skeptical about it, and be objective. Don't get me wrong. But when I'm looking at it skeptically, the part of me that tries to look at it on the other side of the fence goes, I can see that happening. Yes, Korikori is pretty much like the rich, spoiled, rotten kid that you knew in high school that got everything that he ever asked for, and thought he was all that because everything was handed to him. Um, and that, even though we all shit, his didn't stink, because he's him. It's like flowers. Embrace it. Because you'll never be like him. That's pretty much what he is. Yeah. People like him because he has connections. People want to be around him because he has connections. People, want to hear what he says because, they know parts of it are true and parts of it are sensationalized, but the whole story itself is going to be fascinating, and to speculate on which parts are probably true and not true is part of the fun, and it doesn't matter to him. That's Corey. Yeah. Hmm. So just so you guys know, behind the scenes, I've been monitoring my connection here, and I'm probably I haven't dropped any frames, which which is a good thing. But I do have some. I am getting a little bit of lag with my audio quality, so I'm probably going to do some uh, Ethernet cable rewiring tomorrow morning before I stream in the evening tomorrow. And I'm anticipating, and I don't know for sure. I don't know what her schedule is or what she's going to be doing or anything like that. But I'm anticipating that she's probably going to show up or and appear and say something tomorrow. Since she has been gone for several days. And hopefully update people on what's been going on, and maybe even stream tomorrow. So if she does, then what I'll do is we'll definitely catch it and then chat about it. But there's a couple of things that of games that I want to try. I'm kind of like in one of those moods where I just kind of want to try different things and see what I can play while chatting with everybody. I have been dying to try Subnautica. I've been watching so many people play it, and I have Subnautica, and I also have the Frozen one. But I haven't tried either one of them yet, so I really, really, really want to try that. And then I also want to, I got that other one that's like Minecraft, but in sprite form. I got that one too. After watching people play that, which looks interesting. And of course, I have Minecraft. I've been working on Minecraft privately, just trying to get something built before like I say, okay, here, I'm gonna open this up, type thing. But then then again, there's plenty of other stuff I want to play too. Where like I said, I last week I still also have Tokyo, Ghostwire Tokyo, that I need to finish. We haven't even finished the first chapter yet on that, so I'm gonna schedule a stream on that as well. But I MikeNeko, show up, so because I'm planning I'm planning my weekends around you again. um uh yeah so there's plenty of stuff there. I've already unlocked all the stuff on Vampire Survivor, so I can't play that, including the only thing I haven't unlocked on Vampire Survivor is death. I've unlocked everything else, including the newest characters. So as soon as I saw that they updated it, I automatically dove into that. So I've been trying to unlock death without cheating for days now, and it's just driving me nuts. I haven't been able to unlock him yet. Yeah, I have that, and I've unlocked all the characters. I've unlocked all the bonuses, all the achievements, and everything. It's just death I haven't unlocked yet, and it's driving me nuts. I haven't been able to. I've gotten close. I've gotten really close, and there's a new perk and the perk system that has like really helped, but it's almost like it's RNG now. Actually, hang on. Let's see here. Yeah, Reaper has just been a pain in the butt trying to unlock. Let me see if I can capture the screen here real quick. Fubuki. You know what? Fubuki is. Um, Fubuki is such an amazing girl. I just absolutely love Fubuki as a gamer, as just she just amazes me. The amount of dedication and persistence she puts into getting, when she sets her mind to something, she doesn't stop until she gets it. And it just fascinates me. Like when she was going after that fish, I was sitting there, I was like, girl, how could you be going for this long? And she kept going and going and going. I'm like, man, I would have given up so long ago, but she kept going. I'm like, oh man, I gained so much respect for her. And I fell in love with her is so much, just watching her, just like that persistence in her and that dedication. And Fubuki is the one that convinced me that I could do Phasmophobia solo, because I kept telling myself I could, why I don't want to play this game, without other people and everything else. But then I saw her like doing it by herself, and I'm like, man, she can do it. Look what she's doing. And I started watching her and studying her and what she was doing and stuff like that, and her techniques and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, she is such a gamer. Just like Corone, not Corone. Corone. I watch her playing retro games, and I think back to like when I played those same games when I was younger, and I start realizing, I'm like, man, all the techniques she uses to beat those games, it like really, 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 it hammers home in my head. I'm like, when I was younger, I tried for days trying to beat those bosses, and I watch her play. I'm like, that's what I did wrong. And it makes me go out and buy those games and try to beat them all over again. So I mean, I love those two. And that's why I said I don't hate Hololive with it, with every fiber of my being, guys. I love the talent that is at Hololive. I love them. I love them with a passion. If you guys if you guys ever, my hope, all right, my hope is that if there's ever one thing that you guys say about Marko Yamashita to other people, especially like they say, man, if you hear other people say, man, you hear that guy, that all that guy does is spout hate towards Hololive. All right, if you hear other people saying that, my hope is that you would say in response to that, Marko does not hate the talent there. He may hate some of the practices that the agency does and that the company does, but he loves those talents there to death. Every single one of them. Even the ones that he doesn't exactly like, watch or get or enjoy their content with, like Hachima. There's only so much I can stand of Hachima, but I'll still support her. I still support her. Same thing with Kuroni. There's only a certain amount of her, Gap Moe, kind of sarcastic type of attitude that, I can stand, and it's like, okay, I can't take your punishment anymore. I gotta go. It's just one of those things where it's like, you're not gonna like you're not gonna fall in love with all of them, but you'll still love them as people and as talent, and you still want to support them. You know, and that's what my wish is, that you guys will take away from hearing me, is that every time I get mad or I get upset or I start arguing and fighting about you know, the idol mentality, or like the, you know, what's happening there, you know, or what's happening with an agency, or what's happening with this or this situation, whatever, is that I'm mad because I care about the people that are involved, and I don't like seeing them hurt. I don't like seeing them upset or you know, caught up in this stuff, because they got so much talent, yo. And you know, the talent, and their, and you know, and what they do, and what they bring to every single person that watches them is so special. You know, I watch you know, I watch you know, Korone and Fubuki do what they do, and there is some days, sometimes, where I am just completely at awe with what they do, because I can remember dumping in so much time trying to, you know, trying to beat a certain boss, or do um, you know, do something that they're trying to do, you know, and I watched them win, you know, watch them defeat, you know, what they're doing, and it just like, it just wows me. Come on, come on, come on. Stop being a bugger. There he goes. Yay! There it goes. Unlock. Coroni, aka the one that is 1 inch taller. Yes. Yes, it is. This, I have the case on. I got the case on mod on mine. Yes, I do. I saw that. I'm like, I just had to install it. uh, yeah, I just had to install it. I just had, yeah, and I kind of wish that MikeNeko would play this, because I think she would have a lot of fun with all the, you know, just unlocking all the characters, you know, and she would just have a blast going through everything. Yeah, I love that case on mod. It's just, I think it's just great. Now, the biggest thing that I found was, um so I can go like this, and then I'm gonna actually put it on hurry, and then I got this perk here, this random randomos, where healing is doubled and recovering HP damages nearby enemies for the same amount. And it generates this aura duration. Oh, nice. I didn't know I unlocked that one. It generates this aura, right? Now watch. I can go like this, and then go like this. Rune tracer. So basically, it just like literally generates like this force field that like kills everything within like the screen. The only downside to this is that it makes the red crystal pop further away. So when death shows up, I basically have to die, and I do have one revive, which is good. But then I have a 50-50 shot of whichever side that red crystal's on, and I have to hope I pick the right side to get to the right crystal. Otherwise, if I pick the wrong side, then it's pretty much it's a bad run. Luckily they have that hurry option in there now, so instead of having to wait 30 minutes every time, it knocks it down to 15. So I mean, at least that's a plus. But you basically have to like run through this every single time, and you don't. Every so often you'll get to see you'll get lucky and have the red crystal pop somewhere where you can see it. But most of the time, especially with this this perk, most of the time it's like right out of view. Yeah, pretty much. The good thing is that they with the last patch update that they did, there's there's now a hurry option that you can enable, and it speeds the timer up um, by half. So instead of 30 minutes, basically it ticks every half second now instead of every second. So instead of 30-minute wait, it's 15, which is a good thing. So what I was thinking was tomorrow, depending on whether or not we see any action or anything with MikeNeko. I figure I'll go ahead and stream tomorrow. If I don't get death tonight, maybe I'll play this. Otherwise, I'll probably pick one of the easier, slower games. I've noticed that with her, she does have a tendency to do like either twit casting or a like a talk stream towards the morning for her. And if she gets into one of those cycles or routines where she's sleeping during the morning, or she says that she's been awake all night, or what have you, she'll do one of those talking streams in the morning, and then she'll sign off. and she usually does that with and she'll ask the membership or however she has it set, what should I stream. She'll look for suggestions, that kind of thing. I mean, who knows if she's gonna feel up to playing um Genshin Impact after everything that happened. I mean, I think it would be totally up to her if she continues to play it. She seemed to really enjoy it, so I mean, I wouldn't necessarily discourage it if she does want to keep playing it. But I mean, if she decides she wants to play something else, I think that's fine too. Um, it's I'm there to watch and support her, not necessarily um, whatever she wants to play. It's fine. I mean, there's a lot of times where they pick something I think I'll just not even care for, and I end up going, oh, hey, wait, this looks pretty good. So, hi, how's it going? Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, it doesn't kill the tougher mobs, but it does. Fortunately, the big one, the big one in the middle, the hey, they got free. There you go. Typically, if the bosses get close, they usually get whacked by the rune. Um, and the pulse typically damages the other ones enough to where if they get close, they die by the time they get in. But the other major downside is that unfortunately, you just don't see where dang it, you just don't see where the reds fall, and that's kind of a bummer. I don't mind them. Um, you know, um, that I was actually curious about um. I was actually curious about all the Pokemon games because I'll be straight with you guys. Pokemon Arceus is my first ever Pokemon game. I actually never played any of the other ones. I didn't own. I owned a Super Nintendo. I never owned a 64, and I never had should move up a little bit. I never had any of the Pokemon games for my Game Boy. I didn't have an Advance, or I had a DS for a little bit, but I didn't really. Dang it! Why aren't you staying there? But I didn't really play it that much, and then I never owned a Switch, so um, I'm not a Switch, a Wii. So I have a Switch. So I figure I should consider trying out some of the Pokemon games because um I'm interested in seeing and getting either Scarlet or Ruby when that comes out. But I figure I might as well kind of learn some of the other ones too, because I mean I know there's so many generations of it, and then I know there's like a lot of like the rancher games. I think it's like Slime Rancher or Slime Tamer or something like that, and they're back in the day I know that there was Monster Rancher and all those games, and they re-released those. You know, those were okay. But it's kind of interesting that for me especially that um, like MikeNeko, there's several things that she has mentioned that have kind of piqued my curiosity, and then also with like um, with Ankaro, Ankaro is she also has my curiosity piqued about Pokemon as well, because she's excited about Scarlet when it comes out, and so I kind of I want to be able to understand the world that she is excited about. Oh, there goes my. Don't do that. Stop doing that. Ah, that ruined my run. Uh, well, if I had gone out, where was the red one? Where is the red one? Nope, I would have died. The red one isn't over there. Yep, there it is. Redo it. Yeah, Pokemon Red, Blue, or Yellow. Now, are those back GBA games? Or are those? I'll have to look. Hang on. Let me reset it. I gotta reset, reset. 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 Hands right there. Okay. Oh wow, original Game Boy. Okay. Um, Now, were those ever? So those were never. Those were never released for or re-released or anything like that. So, if I did those, if I did those, the if I emulated those, I know that some of those older games had some really weird protections in there that didn't allow you to like properly emulate those. While I'm thinking about it. Da, 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 da. Stop it. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I remember that. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. Especially if they're like considered abandonware. There's not really kind of like a morally gray area type thing. So what I'm gonna do, um, depending on how this run goes here, so what I'm gonna do, off topic here, I'm uploading a couple of her karaoke's, and once they get synced and everything, I'll post them in Discord so you guys can enjoy them. And like I said, I'll leave them up for like 30 days or something like that. Um, and then take them down, and then I can kind of like cycle through some of those things for people to enjoy, those types of things. So um, trying to get the entire archive synced up has been a major undertaking, but I do have her entire membership archive um, uploaded. So that's completely backed up, and with online storage. So um, that's something I can eventually share with everyone. And if there's a particular stream you guys want to download or anything like that, you guys can use the link from um, that archive, and then you can just download it straight from there. And then there's still the other site as well that has it, all the non-membership stuff up as well. So you guys would be able to watch that on demand, and that's not a big loss there for you guys. And if anything ever happens, by the time that that happens to if anything happens to their website, by then I should have my archive completely synced um with the online cloud, and then I can just share that out by then. But it's trying to upload you know all those terabytes worth of data. I mean, I keep forgetting that upload speeds are so much slower than download speeds. I mean, I can download, you know, um, 6-8 megabytes a second, but I can't upload that fast. Yeah, why not? I mean, it's a bit, it's sad that you know for us, unfortunately, that's the most that we can enjoy at this point from her. I hope that at some point we'll be able to enjoy more. Enjoy hearing her sing. Um, I sincerely hope that people that enjoyed, listening and watching her as a content creator will understand that, um, dealing with something like this and dealing with depression, is not an easy fix. And I see so many people, when I peruse the, Twitter, and I peruse the blog sphere, the Japanese blog sphere in particular, where I see so many people that they say, um, it's a waste of time to support somebody like this when they're going to act this way. And it's like, yo, when you have your entire life crumble around you, you can't keep smiling, you know? You're going to break down. Everyone's going to feel that way. Not, you know, no one can honestly say that you're going to continue to think rationally when your whole life crashes down in front of you. So I mean, it's just my hope that people will continue to support her with everything that is going on, because, you know, if she doesn't have people that are supporting her with what's going on, and all the talk about manic depression is real, you know, and she's gonna find out now, especially now, just how many people, you know, say that they care, but they really don't, and it hurts more now. It'll hurt more now, and it'll continue to hurt more and more and more as she realizes and sees who those people are that just claim that they care, but they can only care to a certain point, and then that's it. They can't go any further. And it will continue to hurt, but there's also a part, that she has to really reach in and find strength to, to be a strong person, so she can overcome what ends up being that loneliness that's inside. And until she's able to overcome that loneliness and make peace with herself, she's gonna need as many people as she can around her, because, the more people that are around her, the better the odds that there's still gonna be somebody there. The harder things get. And I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but I just know that's true. Because I've been there and I've done that, and I'll tell you what. When I got to rock bottom, there was nobody there for me. Nobody at all. Everyone bailed on me. And it took a long time for me to, like, really, 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 really be able to pull myself out of there. But, I had to find those answers myself. And I had to tell myself I was not going to give up, Even though I really, 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 really wanted to. Oh, yeah. There are people out there that are paid to be, paid trolls. I can, I know for a fact that there are people that are, paid trolls out there. Um, just like there are people that are paid to like go on message boards. Um, there are people that are paid to do things like that on social media. Um, I don't know if anyone remembers. Oop, I got a minute left. Okay. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Don't. You killed me. I had 30 seconds left. No. Okay, maybe I can survive this. Come on. Ah. Come on. Don't open all the chests. Don't open all the chests. Dang it. Don't open all the chests. Give me my thing back. There we go. Stay. Come on. Stop bouncing around. Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh. You're going to kill me right away, aren't you? You're going to kill me right away. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, you killed me right away. Dang it. If I hadn't died that first time, it was right there. Well. But you guys remember, and maybe you guys don't remember, but there was a thing called Drivergate, and this was like probably over 10 years ago, where the game on the PlayStation 2 came out called Driver 3, and basically the publisher paid two different game media outlets to give it good reviews, and people were just furious about them giving it good reviews, so they started like really ripping into the companies on their message boards. And so the publisher actually hired another company to come in, and they had the moniker of something like that, like they were an attack squad, and they literally came in and they were paid to attack anybody who had anything bad to say about the game. And that was the sole reason why they were paid. They were paid to to attack anybody who was talking bad about the game, anybody who had negative opinions, and they only talked about that game. That was it. This was like right when social media was like really taking off. So Twitter was just becoming a thing. Facebook was just like really becoming a thing. YouTube was just really becoming a thing. So message boards were still the end thing type thing. That was like the main thing, source of communication. But yeah, so and even now there are social media ventures out there that their sole purpose is to quote unquote encourage positive social images of their clientele, and unfortunately that includes cyberbullying people who have negative opinions. Yeah, exactly. They want that money. They want that money, and if you really think about it and consider it, I mean, you could hire people to instigate and do cause people like MikeNeko who have especially like right now, she has a thin skin and is prone to react to things that happen online, and specifically in regards to her, and react to those types of things. You can hire people to provoke that kind of reaction, and then you can report on that kind of reaction or talk about that kind of reaction and get hundreds of thousands of views. Hundreds of thousands of views equals paid ad revenue for your channel, which pays for the instigators, plus gives you that monetization that ends up going into your pocket. So you end up profiting from that. So it's not like it's not like it can't be a thing, and because it is. It's not outside that realm of possibility. And it's not outside the realm of possibility that these people aren't organized. I have said over and over and over again that these people are organized. They know what they're doing. What is happening? What is happening with her is organized, and that they use things like Discord. They use like disposable bulletin boards, anonymous bulletin boards to communicate. They use throwaway Twitter accounts. They have so many different ways of communicating. And people automatically dismiss, oh, these people are just random people that hate her. No. They're organized. Some of them are Chinese. A lot of them are just plain pissed Japanese cherry boys who had their dreams shattered and they can't get over it. That's all. That's what a lot of them are. And I'm sorry, but that's what it is. And it's like, get over it. Yeah, I've had my heart broken too. Everyone's had their heart broken. Anyone who says that they never had their heart broken, fell in love with their first love, got married to them, and had kids, and lived happily ever after, that is probably 0.01% of the population. It doesn't just happen. Sorry. That's just how it is. That's life. Life sucks. You have some good moments, you have a lot of bad moments, and you have a lot of meh. That's life. But you gotta enjoy those good moments, and not hate the people, hate those. If you spend your entire life hating those bad moments that you've had, you make all the meh time in your life completely miserable, and you end up missing a lot of the good moments. That's my advice. I'm giving life advice on YouTube. But I'm gonna call it a night, guys. Give it a rest. It's an open secret, but I am still working on Ankoro-chan's 1-year anniversary video. My goal is to my goal is to make a short video that is like maybe 3 or 4 minutes long. I think I have most of the footage that I want to use, but I just kind of want to introduce her to everyone, let everyone hear her voice. Tell everyone who she is, what she does. Let them see a little bit of what she has done over the last year, and then let them see the funny parts and the parts where she's laughing and enjoying stuff and singing, and then dying in Dead by Daylight, and when she's been playing Kirby and those types of things. So, but I wanted I want to make it really nice, and really just kind of like a little, just kind of cover what she's done. So when I give it to her, and I'm hoping that I can get it finished and then make sure that I have it subtitled correctly. So when I give it to her, maybe she'll like it enough to want to use it on her channel too. So it feels it can be kind of like an introduction. She can use it as an introduction to for people like me who are English speakers, but want to know more about her. So that's my hope anyways. So I want to work on that, and then we're gonna keep an eye on MikeNeko, myself and a few others. We have we have various hooks, what we call hooks, set up for social media. So she does post on social media. It automatically pulls those things in so we can see them on Discord. And if you if she says anything, you'll be able to see them on Discord. Unfortunately for us, those hooks keep her posts up there, so even if she does delete them, we still are able to see what she says. Unfortunately, it does update only every 5 minutes, but the hooks actually have I was able to tweak them a little bit. So if she tweets multiple times within a 5-minute cycle, it pulls all of them through. It's just if she tweets and it pulls, and then she tweets again, it may not necessarily pull that second time. So it's just kind of something that we have to keep an eye on. But and there's also a fan group that I'm a part of that they've been trying to keep an eye on things as well. So we have a couple of things that we are just trying to keep an eye on, so we can support her as much as possible, and hopefully we'll hear some good news here coming up here. Once she comes back. So use copy button. So there's our Discord link for anybody who hasn't joined yet that wants to join. Like I said, just because we haven't heard from her lately doesn't mean that it's bad news. Hopefully she's doing something productive while she's offline. I personally have said that she should take some time away from social media so she can clear her mind. It's actually a little bit more healthy for her if she does clear her mind, and recenter herself so she can gain perspective of what she's trying to talk about or argue about. So hopefully we'll hear some good news for her when she comes back. So tomorrow it'll probably be something a little bit like tonight, where we just do something a little bit more passive, like either more Vampire Survivors, or like I said, maybe we'll do some Subnautica or something like that. Just try to feel some stuff out. And if she does say something about streaming tomorrow, plans may change, but I do want to also do some more Ghostwire Tokyo this weekend at some point. So we'll plan that out and kind of go from there. So, for anyone that's in the chat, thank you for being here. Thank you for stopping in. I know we covered a lot of stuff tonight. Usually these types of live chats, we do cover a lot of stuff. So, you know, I did get a lot of positive feedback about doing a TLDR type of stream. So maybe I'll try to squeeze that in tomorrow and do just kind of a small little recap of tonight's stream. Just so people can have a TLDR if they really want to know what we talked about tonight. But we'll see. So, otherwise, we'll keep an eye out. And if anything happens, just check out our Discord and we'll keep an eye on things. Yeah, stay safe. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for the support and love again. You guys are great. We'll talk to you guys later. If you are just starting your day, thank you and have a great day. A great morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are, whatever it might be for you. Have a great one. We will talk to you again soon. This is Marko Yamashita signing off. Peace.